Hey, it's Jason from veganproject.net, and this is the morning of Friday, February 15th. It is day one of my 3-day juice challenge. I'm just getting going for the day and about to juice up my first one, and I'm going to do some apple and pear, and I'll have the recipe on the website, what I end up doing, and I'll take some pics and whatever. It's just sort of a video diary. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. Just got up, got going, and no coffee, no tea, no anything. For the next 3 days, it is going to be straight juice, and I went last night and did some shopping and got a ton of produce. So I am ready to go for the 3 days, and I'll just keep video chronicling how I go along, and let's see what happens. Pretty positive about making it the 3 days. In the back of my mind, the only negative thing is I keep thinking I'm gonna want to just eat, not hungry eat, but just the act of eating, and I cannot get that out of my mind for whatever reason. So that kind of sucks. But anyway, here we go. Let's get it going. I will talk to you next time and with some juice. Okay, so I am back. This is day one, breakfast one, and I just used my Breville juicer. Amazing machine. There's actually a link for it over at veganproject.net. And the recipe I used for breakfast was 2 apples, 2 pears, and a really big piece of ginger. Maybe a little too big, but here is the result, if you can see. And it actually made a little more juice than this. This glass is, I think this is a 12, this isn't a 16. I think this is a 12-ounce glass. It is delicious. Hold on. If I was going to change anything, I probably would have had I forgot to put the apples and pears in the refrigerator. So it's, colder. It is one thing, though, is I drink my juice right when I juice it because it does start losing the potency. I know there's some stuff out there that's like, well, you can juice way ahead of time and store it in the refrigerator, blah, blah, blah. The thing is your juice starts dying as soon as, you juice it, and the potency goes away. And some juices, I think, and, I'm not an expert on that, but I think something with cabbage, I want to say, and maybe something else has to be drunk right away. I do know the taste does change. When I did my juice before, I did store a little bit for later in the day, and it did change in taste, and I just didn't care for it as much. And it's not too much of juice. If you have the Breville, the one I have, I wash the fruit, and I get all organic fruit, and basically I just dump it in, take the thing that pushes it down, and zing, juice, 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 and it juices fantastically. You can see you get a lot of juice from your fruits and vegetables. So, and it is a very green juice. This is all pear, apple, and ginger. The ginger, I got a ginger root, and I should have grabbed a piece with me to show you, but I want to say it was maybe this big. I mean, it was a pretty big piece. It wasn't just a little bit, and so it was a big piece. Just dumped it in there, went right in. The juice tastes fantastic. Like I said, I would have liked to have the apples and pears in the refrigerator first, because then the juice would have been a little colder. Some of that comes out. And I do like a little bit of a colder juice, but just at room temperature, it is fantastic. It's good to go. It's easy breakfast, fast food. The juicer itself is pretty easy to clean up. Although the waste and stuff goes into the container, you just dump it out and you just clean it up. And then the gear thing that does the juicer, the cutter, you just brush that out, and you're good to go for the next juicing. So there is my morning wrap up. It is I'm probably, let's see, I'll probably juice again in a couple hours, roughly. And I'm going to try kale-based juice. I'm going to go real heavy on the kale. I forget all of what I'm going to put in it, but I will update that. But it's going to be kale, carrots, cucumber, probably some lemon, probably some ginger again, some parsley, may whip in a tomato in there. So yeah, we'll see what's going anyway. So here we go. We're getting it started. Let's see how we go over the next few days. So there it is, and I will talk to you again later. Okay, here it is, about 10:30 on February 15th, 2013, day one of the challenge. It's been, I'm not positive. I'll have to go back and look. I think it's been about 3 hours since my breakfast juice, and I'm getting ready to do my lunch. I guess we'll call it lunch juice, really. Over the next couple hours, I'll probably do 2 of these, or I got to see how much juice I end up with. But this one, I'm going to see if I can, you can see kind of, this is going into one juice. Although I am tempted to eat this, but it is, let's see, we've got tomato, kale, apple, carrots, parsley, celery, ginger, cucumber, and what wasn't shown in there, because I didn't cut it yet, is half a lemon. And if I remember right, this sort of recipe, I think, did quite a bit of juice. I'm about to find out, and I will do another quick video when I actually have the juice, but I'm guessing I'm probably going to get at least a 16-ounce glass out of it, maybe a little more. My breakfast, in fact, my breakfast juice, which was the 2 apples, 2 pears, and the ginger, I put quite a bit of ginger in that, boy, that had a kick. That gave me about 16 ounces roughly, I would say. And then somebody asked me today, how much juice can you have? And to that I would say, as much as you want. You know, there's not like, oh, you've got to watch your calories and all that stuff. No, it's basically, if you're feeling hungry, juice, and just keep on chugging it down and get on through the day. Overall, I'm feeling pretty decent. I've been battling a headache. I got a little bit of one right now, all day long. I didn't wake up with it, and it wasn't until after I had my morning juice that it kind of started. And I'm not positive if it was somehow related to that, like my body was just really started going, or if it's the caffeine withdrawal thing going on, combination. Maybe I'm focused too much. I was focusing a little bit on just eating. I don't know. You know, your mind gets stuck on something, and it's really hard to get it off. And I kept walking past a very good Maranatha jar of peanut butter that I forgot to put away, and it was tempting. I almost got a spoon and started eating. But everything's still intact, still good to go. We're about to do this juice here, and going to see kind of what it does. So I will be back. I probably should have juiced maybe an hour ago. I've been feeling super hungry. And I've just been kind of putting it off because I'm also trying to like look at the cost aspect of everything. I mean, it's going to be a little more pricey because you're juicing tons of organic fruits and vegetables. But I'm trying to stay like under 50 bucks a day or something, you know. So I want to get something realistic going as well, because there's going to be some people that are going to want to do something like this, and you know, finances are going to be a concern. So anyway, I held off a little bit. I would not recommend like starving yourself or whatever. You know, if you're hungry, you need to eat. So I am going to go do this, and I will be back in a minute. Okay, I am back, and I just did my juice, and I would say 16, 17, 18 ounces, somewhere in there, is what I ended up with. And here is the result. As you can see, it is drastically green, actually a dark green. Lots and lots of kale, celery, and everything else I said previously is in here. And I had it in the produce is in the refrigerator, so the glass, I mean, it's not cold, but it's a little bit cool, and I kind of like that versus room temp. And it is very good, and if you're like, ooh, that kind of looks nasty, or whatever, it actually tastes pretty good. So if you're not used to fruits and veggies or whatever, don't worry about it. It's probably not going to kill you. You know what's interesting is it has a very like smooth taste. There's no aftertaste, but it's very smooth. It goes down easy. Um, and one thing I did before, I didn't do it this time. I will actually do it later. Probably for dinner, is mixing in a protein that is like a vanilla flavor, and it's not overpowering, but it just kind of adds some hints to it, and I think it makes it taste even better. But anyway, there it is. This is my lunch. Fast food. I think I juiced everything. I don't even know. 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I don't know. This Bravo is freaking amazing. I love it, and it's really easy to use and clean up. And in fact, I'm going to go clean it up right now. It'll probably take me 30 seconds or something like that, maybe a minute. So there it is. I've got about 16, 17 ounces, maybe up to 20. It's kind of hard to say. I'm not like exact measuring anything. But I do know that there's at least 16. I believe it's up to 20 ounces. So that's a pretty good lunch snack, whatever. As you can see, there was a lot of produce that went into this juice. So as I'm drinking it, you know, I'm like 15, 20% done. I could just pound this out, and it would be like eating that whole bowl of stuff, and that is a lot. Certainly a lot more than I used to take in probably a week or 2 or 3 or 4. So there you go. If you're following along, I definitely would try that recipe. Veganproject.net has, which is probably where you're watching this video, has the recipe. I put it up there in, I think it was my very first juice post. And there's the breakfast one, and then there's this one. I think there's one other. And I will keep adding as I go. So there you go. There is, I guess we'll call it lunch 1. There'll probably be another one in a couple hours, and we'll just see how we go. Remember, if you are doing any type of juicing or whatever, especially like this juice challenge, juice whenever you're hungry if you've got the produce for it. There's no like, oh, you can only have 3 juices a day or 2 or 4 or 5 or 8 or whatever. So fill yourself up. It's all good stuff. So there you go. I will talk to you again next time. Okay, I'm back. It is early afternoon, and I have got like the worst headache on the planet, and I don't know. Might be the caffeine. I don't know. It is ridiculous. It comes and goes, but as you can probably tell, it's hitting me pretty good right now. But I wanted to get this on video and keep things going. Just had another juice. What I made, man, my head is killing me. What I made earlier was about 24. Ended up being about 24 ounces. I got 2 glasses, so I took 1 glass and I put it in the refrigerator to kind of cool it and get it ready. So I put in some protein powder, some vegan protein powder. It's actually vanilla flavored, and it's pretty good, but every now and then it has like a weird thing with it because the vegetables and the vanilla, and it's whatever. I don't know, maybe it beats the chalky of the no name. So I'm feeling kind of crappy. It comes and goes. I don't feel good. Feeling kind of warm right now. And if you've looked at like some other stuff like Joe's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, you'll see like that first day, maybe it's in the first few, I can't remember. He was just wanting to be in bed. I kind of was like that. I had some periods of relaxation. And so I laid down a little bit, but then, I don't know, I think that kind of made it worse. And I've been fighting all day with the idea of getting some coffee. Thinking that might solve the problem. It's not like I'm not having problems with hunger or wanting to have food or anything like that. It's the headache and just that feeling is overwhelming right now. It's actually worse than I'm recording. think I'm going to go outside here in a few and walk around a little bit and see if I can't get things a little better. So anyway, just want to get this on video, and I'll be back again when I have my next juice. Okay, here I am again. It is middle of the afternoon, and you can probably tell it's a little bit of a change from my last encounter. Since then, I don't know what happened. I got really bad. My headache was really terrible. Went outside, tried to walk around, but I just was not feeling well at all. And I don't know if it's because my body was fighting everything or just, I don't know what the heck was going on, but I started feeling weak. And then a little bit after that, I decided to take something for my headache because I figured, why am I sitting here trying to fight this pain? It's not going away. And the only other solution I had was go get a coffee at Starbucks or something. So I decided to go ahead and take something for my headache. And then for the next half hour, it got even worse. And it was like, I don't know. I think whatever I took for the headache, it was like maybe interacting. Again, I'm not sure, but maybe interacting with my whatever's in my stomach or not in my stomach because I wasn't eating. And I started feeling really nauseous. And then I started sweating a little bit. And I don't really think it was necessarily like a result from what I took for the headache because it seemed like I was progressing to that point anyway. But then the headache really started going about 10 minutes back. I felt like it really kind of just was gone. And so right now I don't have a headache. As you can tell, I'm not like dead, so I'm not feeling anything. I'm not hungry. I'm feeling fine. I'm drinking a lot of water, and that was the other thing. I was drinking water, and every time I was drinking water, I started to feel like I was going to throw up. So obviously my body was just like not completely either happy with what I was doing or just like, hey, what's kind of going on here? Where's the food? And it had to, like, everything had to sort of work its way through. Today up to this point has been just an exercise in get through the next minute. It was, I had periods where I got ultra relaxed and I just wanted to lay down and maybe go to sleep, but not sleep, but rest. My plush blanket felt really nice at certain points of today. And this is why I recommend, if you're going to do the 3-week, woo, I'm getting ahead of myself, the 3-day juice challenge, do it on a day when you don't have to do too much. I had light work today, and I still have a little bit more to do, and I'm about to tackle that. But if I had to go into an office, I would not be doing this today, just because, no. Maybe day 3 I could line it up, like do it on a Saturday, Sunday, then Monday go in on day 3 and make a decision at that point. But so anyway, here we are mid-afternoon. I'm feeling good. I'm not hungry whatsoever, not really thinking about food or anything. Actually, I think I'm at this moment just thinking about, God, I'm glad my headache's gone. It sucked. It was the worst headache I've had, I swear, ever, and I'm going to contribute part of that to the caffeine withdrawal. I tried to limit I used to be like 8 cups a day religiously, and last week I posted about it over at veganproject.net. I reduced my coffee now. I tried to go cold turkey, like no coffee, and then it was just too hard. It's just habit, and especially if I'm going to do any writing, I love to have a coffee or a tea, something. So I got down to one a day, and going into this 3-day juice challenge. So there we are. Everything's looking go. It is pretty decent time-wise. I'm just listening to my body right now. It's been an hour and a half or so since my last juice, I want to say. So it's like coming up to where, like, if you want to juice every few hours, it'd be up to that point. But I'm actually not hungry. I'm not feeling anything. And I'm just going to ride this out and see what's going to happen in the next couple hours. Because if it's fast food, so if I feel like, hey, I'm starting to get hungry, boom, 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 done. It's like 2 minutes. I'm gonna make the same thing I had for lunch, and regardless of when I eat, I will have at least one more day one. In fact, I'll probably do a day one wrap up video as well, so we can kind of see changes in mood and everything else. So there we go. I will be back around dinner time. Okay, here I am now, and it is heading towards 6 in the p.m. local time, and so that means I guess it would be the dinner juice that I'm having. This would be juice number 4 actually on the day. And like I said in a previous video or segment, that if you're following along, juice however much you need. If it's 3, if it's 4, it's 5, 6, whatever. So I'm going to have this, and I'm actually having bigger portions. Like I just juiced again, pretty much the same thing as last time. I cut back on the kale a little bit, and I increased the carrots, and of course then I put my, I'll show it in a minute, but I put my protein powder in it as well. And it still made probably close to, looks like about 1.5 glasses or so, which is around 20 ounces or so. I'll actually show it here. It's a little more, I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera. It's a little darker, maybe a little darker brown green this time, probably from the extra carrots that I've added. And I also put the protein powder in. It is a soy protein powder with a vanilla flavor, and actually with this mix I just did, it actually kind of tastes pretty good. Overall, as far as health and stuff goes, feeling pretty good. Got over that headache and whatever was going on earlier. That was nuts. I've been kind of relaxed, I would say, overall today, and did some reading, which of course made me a little extra tired, but reading all the programming manual stuff. But overall I'm doing pretty well and feeling good. I'm not going to go out and run a marathon or anything. Not that I would any other day. Anyway, but I'm not feeling terrible now. Let me just throw this up there. Do whatever you want, but I just wanted to show you what I'm using in case you're following along. It's raw protein, Beyond Organic Protein Formula. It's got a lot of good stuff in there, and it's vegan because I'm also doing the 21-day vegan challenge for veganproject.net while I'm doing this. So I just threw a scoop in this one. I had a scoop in the last one. And I'll throw a scoop in the next one whenever that comes as well. It has, where is it? One scoop has, well, it's 90 calories. 17 grams of protein. So one of the things that I did before when I had attempted the juice challenge was kind of just go along with just juice, and I kind of wasn't thinking in terms of just sort of a complete balance. And even though there's proteins in various plant life and whatever, I wasn't sure if I was getting sort of the completeness that I needed. So this time around, I decided to make sure that I used a soy-based vegan protein powder in my drinks, my juices, to make sure that I am getting the protein I need. So like I said, 1 scoop, 17G. If you do that 3 times in a day, that is going to give you 51 grams, which is about roughly what they kind of recommend, and then over under depending what your preference is for all that. On that protein real quick, and it's kind of the same with a lot of the protein powders. I don't know if you can see, it mixes fairly well in the glass. Try not to spill there. I dumped in a scoop and spent 30 seconds or so with a fork, just whipping it around. And it did pretty well. Yeah, I would say give it like a minute to sit and then whip it again, and it does very well. If you need like a complete blend. Actually, it kind of looks complete now. But I would say use a shaker or throw it in a Ninja or something like that. But it definitely does a pretty good job. I mean, some of the protein powders they've used in the past have had sort of a goopy type thing going on. You know, you mix it in and then there's like this whole top coat of protein powder, and you can either just suck it down or scoop it out or whatever. This I have not had that problem with. So here we are. It's dinner time. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I wasn't sure if I was quite hungry. That's the thing, is I'm not starving. So I want to point that out. I'm not. I mean, I have thought of eating food. I gotta tell you, that peanut butter is looking freaking. Every time I go in the kitchen. um, so the peanut butter is looking really good, but I'm not. That's just a more of an eating for eat's sake. I'm not starving. I'm not hungry. This is doing the job for me, and I definitely, you know, the putting in the protein powder definitely does help, and I'd highly recommend that. One other thing, earlier when I wasn't feeling well, I got a little concerned that maybe I wasn't being too complete, or you know, something happened. I don't know. So I know in the morning I had my breakfast smoothie, whatever you want to call it, smoothie, juice, was 2 apples, 2 pears, and some ginger. And I noticed that I started wondering about things like blood sugar and stuff like that. And I've never had any problems with any of that. But one thing I did do on the side is I went to Whole Foods and bought some organic orange juice, just pure orange juice, nothing added, nothing, no sweeteners, none of that stuff. And I just took a little bit. I took, let's see, I would say 4 or 5 ounces, roughly. And well, I like orange juice too, but that seemed to help a little bit as well. And I'm only saying this because if you're going to follow along with something like this, just, you know, kind of keep completeness in mind. You know, don't just go out and be like, I'm on a water diet for a month to lose weight or anything like that. You know, be thinking about making sure you're getting in all the things that your body's going to need, because if you're not, then you're just harming yourself. So I would say that, and that's why in all my juices, in fact, the one I have now, I have some fruit in there. Like I have an apple usually in each one of them, and then in the morning I'll do whatever it is I feel like doing. So I kind of like gradually go off of it as the day progresses. So definitely keep that in mind. You know, make sure you're getting in your protein and all your things. I would say if you're you know, taking supplements of any kind, keep taking them throughout the challenge. I don't really see a reason to stop. And of course, always see a medical professional of your choosing if, you know, you think you need that, if you're really concerned. If you have any health issues or anything like that, definitely that you know about before doing anything like this, just to, you know, kind of get the A-OK. So there we are. There is dinner. I will be back potentially later if I have another one. I was just looking at the clock. It's 6. I feel stupid. It's Friday night. I should be up late or something, but I'm kind of like thinking, you know, I might turn in a little bit. I'm going to watch. I got a couple documentaries that I want to watch over on Netflix, actually. I switch between Netflix and Amazon Prime depending what they have. Let's see. I think it was Hungry for Change, which yeah, I don't want to say anything because I gotta remember. I think it was Hungry for Change. It was okay. I would have liked to see a little more factual stuff thrown in there, but I like the overall message. I think Food Matters is what I'm gonna watch maybe later tonight. And I don't know, I have a bunch, and then there's a couple TED Talks that I want to check out and see what they're saying. So if I'm not back, then this is the finale for day number 1. And you know what? I will be back. Even if I'm not going to juice right before bed, I'll do a recap, see how I'm feeling and all that. And get on out of here with day one. Had its ups and downs, but so far it's looking like I'm going to be able to sail clearly into day two. So there we go. I will talk to you again. Okay, so it is later in the evening on day one of the 3-day juice challenge for veganproject.net, and I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. When I juiced earlier, it made I think it's a 12 ounce. I don't think it's a 14 ounce glass. So two glasses. I'm going to say 12 ounce glasses. I went ahead and had one and had my scoop of protein in there. And then the other one I put in the refrigerator, and I am thinking about having that pretty quick here with another scoop of protein. And then that's going to do it for today. And so I'm done. I have successfully completed day one of the 3-day challenge, and definitely had its ups and downs. And I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would be doing. I am feeling a little bit, I don't want to say tired like in a negative sense, but like kind of relaxed where I feel like, I could sleep, I suppose. So that's not too bad. Let's see. So tomorrow morning I'll be back, and there'll be a whole other video. I'll start for day two. Anyway, the takeaway here is overall things ended up pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling full. That's the important thing. I'm not feeling like, oh my God, I'm starving. Like some of those, I don't know, 400 calorie a day diets or something ridiculous. Oh, you shouldn't be doing those. So I am. The only thing I have had throughout the day is the desire to kind of eat, the peanut butter, of course, and I started just thinking about what I'm going to have for breakfast come Monday morning when the challenge is over, and I think lentil stew is going to be my breakfast, like a big portion of it. Yeah, so it's kind of like I think the thing that I fought most with, especially when I was either reading or taking in a video, was just wanting to like snack, because usually I kind of tend to snack. I might have cucumbers and hummus, or snacking on a carrot, or whatever. Of course, before it was obviously all junk. But it's like, so I can't do that now, so it's kind of odd. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to go juice and then just snack on juice. It doesn't quite do it for me, and I'm not hungry, so I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing too. But that's the only thing I fought with a little bit off and on. It hasn't been too bad. I'm sure tomorrow and the next day it'll probably hit me a little bit more if the past is any guide. So there we are, day one in the books, and I will see you for day two. If you are following along, I hope you're doing spectacular. I hope you're doing very well. Keep with it, stick with it, always listen to your body. You shouldn't be killing yourself. You might have moments where you feel like you're going to die. I certainly did. But make sure you're getting enough juice, make sure you've checked out everything, and that you're going for that sense of completeness with everything. And if you're doing it as sort of a weight loss thing, you don't have to starve and kill yourself to lose weight. As I've said before, I was about 65-ish pounds heavier than I am now, and I still got more to go. I mean, I got a few pounds, actually quite a few pounds I want to get off. But, you don't kill yourself to do it. So never do that. Never have like a 400 calorie diet or something. I mean, unless, I can't imagine what, but if your medical professional says whatever and you want to believe that, go ahead and knock yourself out. On your own, don't think I've got to remove absolutely everything. I've got to starve myself. I've got to have a liquid diet or anything like that. So there it is, day one, day two coming up. I will see you on the flip side.